Nobody in the world today was alive 1,000 years ago, nor was anyone around 200 years ago. None of us can say we truly understand the past for those reasons. We can only form opinions based on what appears to be the facts, but if the facts change, our opinions have to change too. Morotopethecus ape of Moroto, Uganda. We will be looking at a few discoveries that change the facts and might change our understanding of the development of the great apes, which is called Morotopethecus, a fossilized ape discovered in Moroto, Uganda in 1997. The phylogenetic status of Morotopethecus, which relates to the evolutionary branch that it belongs to, is very much debated among scientists. For some, it establishes a solid connection between the primates of the Miocene age and extant hominids. After 20 years of study, a consensus has begun to form that Morotopethecus is closer to extant great apes. This means that the species must be at least 18 million years old. It is still possible that scientists are getting agitated over nothing. However, some believe that Morotopethecus and Afropithecus are the same species, so we are not dealing with a newcomer to the evolutionary chain. We appreciate that there is a lot of science involved in this exhibit, but this 20 million year old ape could be distantly related to us in layman's terms. Shell mittens of Mexico. Scientists discovered and excavated shell mittens from 2 sites close to the Gulf of Mexico in March 2021. They now believe that these shell mittens rewrite the established history of the submerged coastal landscapes in North America and Europe. They come from a time when the seabed was dry, several thousand years ago. According to the scientists, the mittens are totally different from the natural shells found elsewhere on the seabed, and confirm that this part of the world was once inhabited by human beings. This pushes the inhabitation timeframe of the region back by several centuries. Going further, they suggest a deep connection between the First Nation people of North America and the underwater environments and seascapes. Remarkably, the sites have not been destroyed by the change in sea levels. Shell mittens are rare in the south, but their presence here proposes that usage of coastal regions by humans was common between 5,000 and 8,000 years ago. The techniques used here could help identify other sunken former human territories worldwide. Climate change in China. Climate change is real. Some people might argue against the idea that climate change is caused by human activity. Climate change over time is an established, irrefutable fact. In 2015, archaeologists in China found a striking prediction of the effects of climate change written on a cave wall. The accuracy of the prediction stunned them, especially considering that it was written 500 years ago. The content of the ancient message predicts 7 specific drought events that will affect the region between the years 1520 and 1920. All the events happened, but not all the predicted effects happened. The unknown author predicted various consequences, including starvation, the conflict between neighboring cultures, and even cannibalism as resources began to run out. The inscription was found on the walls of the Dayu Cave in China's Kunlun Mountains. This part of China is heavily altered by monsoons during the summer, which brings 70% of the area's annual rainfall in weeks. Following the formula laid out by this ancient weather forecaster, scientists now expect another severe drought to impact the region during the late 2030s. Mammoths DNA and Species. There was a breakthrough in the study of DNA in February 2021 when scientists were able to extract and sequence DNA from 3 different mammoths. The oldest of the mammoths died 1.2 million years ago, making this easily the oldest sequenced DNA in the world. The remains were found in the frozen land near Siberia's Krestova River. By sequencing the DNA, it has been possible to prove that the creature belonged to a unique lineage of mammoths. It seems that this species mated with woolly mammoths to create a distinct line of hybrid mammoths, roughly 420,000 years ago. The hybrid species is today known as the Columbian mammoth. Origin of the alphabet. The origins of the alphabet are shrouded in mystery, but it is commonly thought that it first appeared around 3,800 years ago in Egypt. The Egyptians took 20 hieroglyphs and turned them into the earliest form of the alphabet we know today. It is a neat theory, but it might not be accurate. An object covered in carvings was found in El-Mira, Syria in 2004 by Glenn Schwartz of Johns Hopkins University in Maryland. It is 4,300 years old, and according to Glenn, it is the world's oldest example of an understandable alphabet. If he is correct, it means the alphabet started here 500 years before the Egyptians got around to creating one of their own. This rudimentary alphabet might have even been what inspired the ancient Egyptians to create one of their own. The object is made of clay and was broken into 4 pieces when it was found, each of them about the size of a human finger. Each piece is imprinted with between 1 and 5 distinct characters. Schwartz has identified the letters K, A, L, and O, although he has not been able to make a word from the combined pieces. Unsurprisingly, plenty of historians reject the idea of the characters being an alphabet at all, but Schwartz is 100% sure that he is right. Silver plaque of South Carolina. A find that might rewrite the cultural history of Finland is a fragment of a silver plaque that was found in South Carolina in 2013. Nothing like it from this era has ever been found before. Its existence might have implications for Finland's Iron Age history. The ornamentation of the plaque is consistent with the once popular style on the island of Gotland, which is now a part of Sweden. The artifact was found by an amateur metal detectorist sweeping a field with their device en route to Järven. It belongs to the middle of the Merovingian era, which began in the early 7th century and ended in the early 9th. Traditional thinking is that this part of Finland was initially occupied by the Sami people, who were driven north as the ancestors of present-day Finnish people first arrived there. Given the resemblance between this object and objects that have been found in Gotland, it might be the case that these Sami people had closer relationships with the Swedes than we thought, or that the Sami people were not the original occupants of the land at all. Dinosaur discovery in northwest China. The word dinosaur refers to many prehistoric creatures, most of which looked nothing like each other. A fossil discovery made on a hillside in northwest China has forced us to look again at the history of long-necked dinosaurs. The fossils belong to a previously unknown species of plant-eating dinosaurs called Lingualong shinki. They were alive 174 million years ago during the Earth's Jurassic period. When translated into English, the name means amazing dragon from Lingwu. There is no suggestion that the species is the inspiration for mythical dragons, although that inspiration must have come from somewhere. However, it does represent the oldest known advanced member of the lineage of dinosaurs known as sauropods. It pushed the emergence of advanced sauropods by 15 million years. The Great Flood of China. Geologists long suspected an enormous flood in the Yellow River region of China some 5,000 years ago. In August 2016, they finally found direct physical evidence of this great flood, which profoundly affected the Chinese landscape. It is thought that if the flood had not happened, the circumstances that allowed for the Jia dynasty would have never happened, and modern Chinese civilization might never have emerged. If it ever had, it probably would have looked very different. The evidence has posed a problem, though, and the problem is that it indicates that the flood happened in the year 1920 BCE, which is several centuries later than it was thought. If the theory about the Jia dynasty is still valid, it would logically follow that Emperor Yu and his dynasty did not establish their society until many centuries later than we currently believe. A bird figurine. Art is a general category of aesthetics and artistic practice. In 2020, archaeologists found a bird figurine made of bone. Moreover, the bone had been burnt, which may hint at a unique technology. This artifact was found in the Chinese province of Henan, on the territory of one of the ancient people. After extensive research, scientists determined the age of the find, and they discovered that the bird was made about 14,000 years ago. Interestingly, the artifact didn't get damaged over such a long time. After examining the bird figurine, scientists were able to identify the species to which it belonged. It was discovered that the bird belonged to the family of Passeridae, which opened up a new field for study. This discovery made it possible to trace the origin of the culture to the Paleolithic period. The giant cat. Nazca Plateau is the most famous and mysterious one in Peru. On one of its hills, archaeologists discovered a huge image of a cat. Scientists refer to huge terrain drawings as geoglyphs. The technique of making geoglyphs is quite specific and complicated. The drawing of the cat was done by removing the top layer of rocks from the surface of the hill. The yellow soil below the stone layer gave a clear outline to the images. The entire image can be observed from the bird's eye perspective. The Nazca geoglyphs became a sensational discovery in the 20th century. Most of the drawings on the Nazca Plateau were part of exploring the Peruvian territory. The image of the cat was accidentally discovered by the workers while they were constructing an observation deck. Ancient civilizations created all the drawings on the plateau. Regardless of their age, they are perfectly preserved. After extensive research, it was determined that the image of the cat was created around 100 or 200 BC. All the Nazca Plateau are controlled and protected by the government.